afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Tunde Kilani, but everybody calls me TK. Distinguished guests, fellow filmmakers, artists, and friends, on behalf of our executive producers, Mr. Tayo Ladimiji and Cordelia, and on behalf of the entire cast and the crew representing the cast and creative team behind Cordelia, I warmly welcome you to this very special occasion. After 3 years of hard work, resilience, and faith, Cordelia is finally ready for cinema audiences. Cordelia is not just about the release of a film. It is the celebration of a journey that began with a powerful story on the pages and comes alive on nationwide cinema distribution by Film 1 from July 18, 2025. Thank you. At the heart of Cordelia is a literary work by one of our greatest writers. When we adapt them to film, we are not just entertaining, we are preserving, interpreting, and passing on our culture. This is what makes our cinema deeply authentic and what sets African storytelling apart. Cordelia is a film about silence, about the unspoken damage of power and the quiet suffering of those who live in the shadows of history. It is a political and historical story, yes, but it's also deeply personal. It holds a mirror to the fractures in our society and the fragility within the family when truth is suppressed. Because when power changes hands by force, when there's a military coup or a natural disaster caused by years of neglect, it is not the powerful who suffer first. It is the innocent, ordinary families that are torn apart. Children are displaced, parents are silenced or disappeared. The people caught in the crossfire are those simply trying to live, to raise their families and to survive. Cordelia gives voice to those quiet victims, the ones history books often forget. And one of the most moving aspects of this film, what binds it emotionally, is the music. The original score was composed by the talented Michael Ogunlade, but it reached new creative heights through a unique collaboration, the music department of the University of Delaware in the US, under the leadership of Professor Anderson, arranged, orchestrated, and scored, the film in a project that is titled Cultural Fusion. This collaboration between continents, between cultures, between traditions and techniques represents exactly what Cordelia stands for. It's a creative dialogue, a meeting point between African stories and global craftsmanship, and it shows what is possible when we open our doors to collaboration while staying true to our roots. To our extraordinary cast here represented and our crew, thank you for your passion and professionalism. To the composers, musicians, and partners behind the sound of Cordelia, thank you for giving this film its soul. And to our audience, the Nigerian audience, who have stood with African filmmakers through decades of evolution, you are the true backbone of this industry. Through those era of Nollywood, VHS, VCD, cinema and streaming, you have stayed loyal. You believed in our stories when others didn't, and it is for you that we continue to create. So in conclusion, let us recognize and thank the team that made today possible. City People magazine, led by our brother, the visionary editor, Mr. Sheye Kehinde, and the assistant editor, Mr. Sunday Adigun, and their entire hardworking team. I thank you for organizing this press conference and for your continued commitment to celebrating the Nigerian creativity and culture. As for me, Cordelia is not the end, but a new beginning, marking the start of a fresh chapter filled with entertaining, thought-provoking, and culturally grounded themes that will continue to complement my decades-long journey in African cinema.
Second question goes to the legend himself, Tunde. Virtually, we've seen you working with various artists in Nigeria, various actors from different niche and different character background in Nigeria. Are we expecting something working with some other African actors, bringing Hollywood actors and Nollywood actors with some of the best in Africa? As you have always known, you discovering special actors. We've seen you dispatch several actors in Nigeria. Are we seeing something beyond Nigeria pitching all over Africa? Thank you.
All right, let's have Mr. Kilani first.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kilani, and there are some things as an actor. I think for me, there are a couple of things that I want to do before I die. One is working with TK. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. And working with him was, I didn't even believe, like she said, till I got to set, I was working with TK. And
I was like, are you sure?
Yeah, are you sure? Yeah, and then I'm like, where's TK? Where's TK? Oh, yes, TK, like, TK.
Oh, come on.
I'm sure that's TK. Like, you know, the name Tunde Kilani is amazing. That it's amazing all through the years, the acting industry, the performance industry. You can't go like, you know, you can't go so far without hearing TK. So it was an awesome time working with him, and I wanted to know the kind of person he was on set. And you know, I came and he just allowed me to be me, to do what I had to do. You know, so for me, some directors, you work with them and the only key, you have to be, they make you kind of stiff and you're not able to express yourself or express things in the character. The worst they can tell you is, what you do is say, okay, I like this, but can you just tone down a bit or do amazing? I was like, really? And yeah, the character is, for me, for every movie or film, I mean, I try to bring something special to the character. It's as good as my last job. Any job I'm doing, it's as good as my last job. So even if it's a scene, even if it's two, like he said, you just have to remember I'm in the film. Even if I'm not standing and looking throughout the film, you like, oh, he guys are looking like this. You shall have to remember. So for me, I brought my agent to the game because it's TK, of course, and yes. So yeah, you'd enjoy it. I'll just say everybody should come out and see Cordelia because it's a different story, and the way the story is told, you know, the story is mixed into different. There's so much to take out of it, and then the setting was set in the 90s setting, which is beautiful, and the way he tells the story, very African, very rich, very cultural. It was awesome, and just see the film. Thank you very much.
Okay, what's the question again?
As a veteran.
When are you doing an Schwarzenegger?
Collaborating with other African actors. I respond to the story. The story I'm telling at the 10th time will demand, you know, who will be in it. You know, so, and that's perhaps it's an asset, perhaps it's a problem, because I have an audience base. I do know that principally there are 14 million Yorubas first of all in the homeland, and then in the diaspora, and they already decided that I should best make the film in the Yoruba language and culture. Let's say Africa, you know, just an example of how much we can achieve in our own languages and in our culture and in our tradition, because we are not just telling a story at that point, we are also archiving whatever is left of it. So I don't know, if I come across such a story, I will consider it, you know, but I will not say to be popular or to make dollars, I have to go and bring someone, even if he doesn't fit the story. So, but I'm open-minded all the time. Because they have done African Writers Association in the US, a conference. They included my name and I went along. And I tried to comment, listen, I'm not one of you, really. But I really worship writers. I think Professor Femi Oshofi's song, I come across several of his works and I can't understand how he thought about it. And when it comes to the family, he was serializing this story in the pages of Guardian, when he worked in Guardian. And then sometimes he said people would come to him and say, my problem was, yeah, we're serious there. I didn't know you have so much. He said, I don't have the problem, but it's just a story I'm writing. That was how convincing it all was. It's so magical. And then they brought it to life. Far beyond my own expectations. Sometimes I'm wondering, is it real? And when we get to Medio Kawali, and this guy designed the character and smoked so menacingly. And anytime he laughs, I'm not saying, oh my.
There's no stop you see on the video.
It's a wonderful, wonderful.
This is why I asked that question is because I'm looking at the situation that we find ourselves in Nigeria currently. I'm looking at that, that set that we saw in that teaser that I watched. I mean, I'm looking at, if possible, we actually can tell what the story, it's all about now, because I saw both of them. I saw that Dalmoni, I saw the role. Looking at it, don't you think there is more? Because I'm already thinking what I'm gonna come out of that movie. Don't you think we get to have another part of that movie, probably a kind of a part 2? Because the story of the military era, and I don't think anything has changed as far as this country is concerned, comparing the military and
are you suggesting a fool?
Just as if you have been in the movie. But this is not a cool, but you passing a message, because I can see a strong message coming out from that movie. So relating that, from the 90s and to what we have today, nothing has changed. And it's still the same.
We're in a democracy. We have a robust democracy in place.
I get
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Let me just quickly chip in something there. Having to have in the Nigeria of the 90s, 80s, 90s, and all that, the military era, and falling into this period, you see how we've fallen, or rather things have gone up to what it is today. So most times we storytellers, we say like they say, literature leaves the society. We leaves the society back to the society. So we haven't seen the film yet. We've seen the snippets of it. It can propel or project that if you don't do X, Y, Z, this might happen. So it's just like a foretelling for you to gather.
Yes, sir.
No, what I just want to say is to, first of all, thank Professor Femi Oshofi for giving us that. So, it's unbelievable. I still wonder how he thought about it and then wrote this story. And I want to thank the talent for bringing it to life. I couldn't even believe myself. William said that they make it easy for me. No, you don't make it easy for me, I make it easy for you. Because what I do is, anytime I'm making a movie, I thought I'm so privileged enough to pay all these people to entertain me. Because I'm the first audience that can see, just like a palm wine, you're bringing down on top of you, and I'm sitting for you to bring, and first to drink it, I'm looking at all these people. And I just see all the transformation, everything going on right in front of me. Some of them, that's why, when I sit in stage, I'm working a play, and after the play, I can't recognize the people who play me, because they look so different. You can never imagine this guy or her, for instance. No, it's not possible. So this is magic. And I'm particularly grateful to God about what God has given our country. We are blessed with the tangible heritage, oil and gas and all those things. But more importantly, we are blessed by all these things. And then everything that we are all doing and you are doing, I'm eternally grateful to the city people for bringing all of us together. This is not like a press conference, just like we're having a chat. Now, I would say, bring drinks and be enjoying ourselves. So I thank you all for this opportunity to meet with you, and so on. So I'm back. Tunde Kilani is back. And don't forget, it's July 18th.
Cordelia.
All right, that's the Tunde Kilani is back. That's a very correct hashtag. Tunde Kilani is back.
Yes, that's right.
All right, thank you so much. Can we have boss, the big boss himself, for